Hello, everybody. It's Yoli Medina, civil attorney. So, today I wanted to do a video on a person that is missing. He's a young adult, and it kind of hits close to home. Uh, Dane Elkins was I guess, in his early 20s when he disappeared. He's now probably 2020. He's now probably in 2024. He's probably 24 years old or 23. And I saw an episode on News Nation about missing people, and he was one of the persons who was discussed. And I have a personal connection to this, actually. I didn't know that until recently. But my husband played racquetball, and he was in the Nationals. Throughout his life, he's played racquetball. So he's well known in the racquetball field. And apparently, Dane Elkins, who is the missing person, he was also a national racquetball player, and he was well known. So my husband actually knows of him and knows his little brother Cody Elkins, because my husband still plays racquetball, although he's older now, so he doesn't compete in the nationals, but he did at one time, and he knows this family per se, not personally, but he knows of them. And it was in December. It was on December 14th, 2020, which is the anniversary today. So I thought I'd do a video. He disappeared, and he made a Snapchat video, and I don't know anything about Snapchat, but for I don't know, some reason somebody got a hold of the video from Snapchat. My understanding is with Snapchat, things disappear. Like they don't stay like live streamed or whatever or recorded. So in the Snapchat video, he mentioned that the CIA was after him, and that he said that the CIA tries to recruit people, and if you don't obey, they unalive you. And so it's a strange video, but I'm going to post the link to the News Nation video that talks about this with his mother, and actually shows the footage video of Dane Elkins talking about this. And he says, strange things. And his mother believes that her son, Dane Elkins, had a psychotic episode. And this happened in December 14th, 2020, during the lockdown, during COVID. And, she noticed her son acting strange, and then he disappeared. She said that her son had said that he was going to go stay with friends, but later she learned he was living in his car. And when she tried to look for him and she couldn't find him, eventually, I don't know how it came about, but his car was found up in the mountains in I guess, Central California. And everything that he owned in terms of his laptop, his phone, his wallet was in his car. And he was nowhere to be found. So, she's been very active trying to find him. And, she understands that he became paranoid, and he probably has psychosis. And she wants to help him find him first and then help him. And so there's been numerous sightings, and I think there have been numerous sightings, one in Bakersfield, California, one in Mojave, California, and I believe one in Santa Cruz, California. But I'm going to post the link to the News Nation two News Nation episodes, because a couple of years ago, there was one, and then the latest one that was just a few days ago. just in case I get anything wrong, you can refer to that because I'm not perfect. I don't have the best memory. So, but, it's really, really sad because, when you look at this person, he looks familiar. And I don't need to go into it, but when you see the photographs of him, and just now I will post, let me see if I can do this. If you look, there's all these images of him, and he looks familiar. He looks like a lot of people describe certain people. I'm not going to go into it, but he looks familiar. And his mother has said that she's received a lot of calls, but they're not her son, but they're people who look similar to him. And it's really sad because in the interview, she said, I don't know where he is. I mean, he could be anywhere. And she talked about where he was sighted, where he was, where people said they saw him. And she asked, well, what did he ask for? What did he do? And it seems that he goes to ladies who he feels are, or he sees are mothers, and either they have children or, he goes to them and asks them for money or food. And the latest one, I believe, was at Taco Bell. And he approached a woman and was fearful of the government, she could tell, and he asked her for money, and she did. She gave him money, and he ordered something from Taco Bell. And it's uncanny that he looks similar to a lot of people. And she even admits, his mother admits that, there's a lot of leads, but they're not him. They look like him, but they're not him. And I firsthand, like, it's personal to me because my husband not allegedly, he does know the brother, Cody Elkins, as a young racquetball player, and he knows of Dane Elkins in the racquetball world. And I never knew about this until recently, like a day ago, maybe. And it really is sad because when you think about who he looks like and you think about what could have happened to him and you think about mental illness, it is possible that, he was paranoid, Dane Elkins, that he believed the CIA was after him. And he believed that in order to protect his family, because in the last video, and I'm going to post the link, you need to watch it, he talks about protecting his family. They're after you, Mom, and they want to get Dad more than you, but they're after you. And he talks about how if you don't do what they say, they'll kill you, and they gave him a passport, and it's crazy. And his mother believes, I think rightfully so, that he has had a psychotic episode. But in any event, she believes that he's trying to protect her and the family. So she holds on to hope every time somebody sees someone who looks like him and reports it. And it's not him. Of course, her hope is just that. It's just broken. And so, I think about the latest thing with the Luigi Mangione. And, he kind of looks like him in a way, And, his mother did say, "We don't know where he is. I mean, he could be anywhere. He could be in New York." And when she said that, I felt it. I felt like, "Oh my God, like how scary is this for a family who has a missing family member who may be uh, mentally ill, psychotic, and who might be involved in something like that." I'm not saying that Dane Elkins was involved in any of that. As far as we know, he's in Northern California somewhere. But the thought, of thinking that your loved one, your son, is trying to protect you, and you see these images, which I mean, they're not very good images, but you see the bushy eyebrows, and you see the chin, and you see certain things, and it's frightening. I think it's frightening. If I were a mother and I saw something like that looked similar to my son, I mean, God, I mean, I feel for this lady. I feel for her a lot. And I'm glad she is out there. She's on TikTok. And I swear, Mrs. Elkins is totally trying to find her son. And she says, if you see somebody who looks like him, do not call him by his name. Don't say, "Oh, Dane," or "Dane Elkins," or "Hey," because he will believe that you're part of the conspiracy. That how would you know his name if you don't know me? And these women who have given him money, these kind mothers, as she puts it, that have given him money, they're very gentle. And in the video in News Nation, his mother just says he has discernment. He knows who to go up to, who to approach. He knows who's safe. And it's just ironic that this individual, I mean, this face is a familiar face. Not just in events that recently occurred, but even in past events when you have a description of a suspect. Mask, bushy eyebrows. And I find it very, very ironic that all of this is coming out. Not coming out, but happening, I guess I should say. And I just wanted to highlight this case and see if anybody who recognizes her son, Dane Elkins, if they see him, don't say his name. Just talk to him. And possibly have him walk with you somewhere to a police station or something. Because he's around. And it's double personal to me, not just because my husband is a racquetball player and knows of this family and knows the younger brother, Cody Elkins, but because my family has a history of mental illness. My uncle was schizophrenic, and I'm familiar with these delusions. And again, I'm not saying anything about Dane Elkins being involved or having any kind of connection to what happened in New York. I'm just saying the facial similarities. That's what I mean. They look similar to me anyway, and maybe to a lot of other people. But if I'm wrong and it's just my perception, then I'm wrong. But the point is, this person is missing, Dane Elkins, and he probably needs medication. And he probably thinks people are trying to poison him, so he won't take medication. But his mother wants to find him to help him. And when I was talking about my own personal experience, my uncle had schizophrenia. And I remember as a little girl, he would come to my mom and my grandma's house, and he was paranoid. And I remember thinking, what? What's up? And even with medication, they finally got him into a boarding care, and we'd go see him every Sunday. We'd get in the car, my aunt, my mom, my grandma, and I. We'd drive over to Bellflower to go see him in a group home, and we'd take him out, to a Mexican restaurant, and the waitress would ask him, so what are you going to order, sir? And he would say, well, you should know, you're reading my mind. And I would just be like, oh my God. I mean, even with medication, he was not right. And I feel bad because I feel like some of these people who are on the streets, they do have mental illness and they need help, but it's like a circular thing. If they're paranoid and they think people are poisoning them, how are they going to take their medication? If somebody comes and hospitalizes them and tries to give them medication, they might take it if they're under like a 5150 where they hold you for 72 hours. That's in California. But when they get out there, they're like, hell no, I'm not taking that poison. And it's a revolving circle. And then if you have someone who's paranoid and thinks the government is out to get you, what is the outcome of that? I mean, there are many people who could take advantage of someone like that. I'm not saying that this has happened with Dane Elkins, but think about it. If someone's paranoid and they're making videos on Snapchat about how the CIA is trying to recruit them and craziness. People could take advantage of that. And I would hope that doesn't happen. And I hope that that's not happening. But I think about it. I think about it a lot. And I'm just going to show the images of Dane Elkins one more time. And there's a whole picture of him. And that's his mother. There's pictures of his mother. His mother's on TikTok. I don't know anything about TikTok, but she is on TikTok. I'm going to post the link to the News Nation episode where she talks about being on TikTok and how she's been spreading awareness. And I've spread awareness. I have my best friend lives up north in California, and she's on the lookout. And the important thing is how to approach him and how to help him. I mean, this happened at the end of December 2020 when COVID hit. A lot of people suffered, but if you know anything about psychosis or schizophrenia, you know that it's not a rational thought. It's not something that someone can necessarily control, especially if it's the paranoid type, because you think everybody's trying to hurt you. And I hope that this video gets out there and that people, at least in California, even everywhere, including New York, report sightings of him. But he has a familiar face. In any event, that's all. That's all. I just wanted to make that video. This video, not that video. This video to bring light to this person. Because it's not a coincidence that it ran across my feed, that it's the 1-year anniversary from his disappearance, and that he looks like a familiar face. Those 3 things, it's not a coincidence. At least not for me. Oh, and also that he has some connection to my husband. There's 4 things there that are not coincidence, in my opinion. And I'm a lawyer. This is not a law video. It's just from a regular person, from a human standpoint. And I hope that you all keep an eye out for him. And go on TikTok and find his mother. I don't have TikTok, but go on TikTok. I'm not sure if she has a YouTube channel, but I'm going to post all the details in the description box. But please, please look at the News Nation video. The News Nation, one of the News Nation videos is just about missing persons, and it covers, in the beginning, it covers Sebastian Rogers, Hana Kobayashi, the kayaker that went missing but really tried to fake his death. And it might cover some other missing persons, but at the end of that video, they do the exclusive on Dane Elkins. So please take a look at it, because we all have to help, even if it's just keeping our eyes out, keeping our eyes looking around and reporting. If you see something, say something. Anyway, that's it for today. So I'll talk to you guys later on the next video.